Hey, what's up? Everybody, yeah, just trying to get on here um, and see if this is actually working or not. See if we actually have something going. And so I think we
Get
do.
on here.
Oh, sorry about that.
And see if this is actually working or not. See if we actually have something going. And so I think we do here.
Oh, sorry about that.
And see if this is actually working or not. See if we actually have something going. So I think we do here.
Okay, I'm sorry for those feedback issues. That's what I should not have been trying that. All right. Hey, we're gonna, like I said, we're like we usually do. What's up, Kirk? Hey, sorry about buzzing your ears here. Hi, Snyders. Sorry about all of that stuff. I meant to hit mute, and then I couldn't figure out how to get my mute on those other places to make sure that we were on there. And so I apologize to all of you who are going to watch this later. Those who are just kicking on now, you're not going to know what I'm talking about, but had some crazy audio stuff. I want to just wait a couple minutes and make sure that we got some people who are jumping in later, right? And so we're still about 3 minutes early. And so hopefully you guys aren't going to ditch me yet, but yeah, we're a little bit early. And so, like I said, I wanted to make sure that we got on here, that everything was working. Yeah, what a stress relief. If you guys don't know, right, just so if the couple minutes that until we get going, where what was I gonna say? Oh, yesterday, all of our videos, like all of our worship services, all of so yesterday was day 4, day 3, and day 2, day 1, we're all of those things were all gone from our Facebook page. And so we I noticed that at about 11:30. So I had a Zoom conference call that I was on. Luckily I said, hey, I got to get off of here so I can make sure that I get ready. I went to our Facebook page to kind of just get the titling and all that stuff taken care of. And when I looked to see what I had written for the day before, I couldn't find the video. And then as I started searching, I figured out that I couldn't see any of our videos. And so I didn't have too much of a panic attack. I was just concerned that those past videos weren't there, mostly because for those of you who would join on and watch later, that they wouldn't be there. But I wasn't too concerned because I knew that we had another way of, or we could direct you to where they were, right? And so we've got them on our website, we've got them on YouTube, and right, there's other avenues that we have this. And so well, we've said early on, we didn't want to create something where we were dependent on one thing. And we stream out to multiple places. And so we knew that it was somewhere else. But we also know that we care about those of you who are on Facebook with us. And so we wanted that to work. And what we realized is that even streaming, and so I tried to do a couple test streams and nothing was going from our Restream service into Facebook. We were just being blocked out. So we were able to upload stuff. So we weren't able to do live. So like right now I'm talking, I'm in front of the camera, you're able to see it. We were able to upload. So I was able to take that recording of what I did with the YouTube group then and put it onto Facebook, but we just couldn't do anything live, and which was really concerning, mostly concerning because that's how you all join us if you're on Facebook on Sunday mornings. And so we were trying to figure out, we're going to need to pull some things. Long story short, we found out that there's one piece in our process that was not working. And strange thing is, it's the piece that we pay for. had an issue yesterday that caused them to remove videos from Facebook and not allow. It was crazy when I started getting on some of their forums to figure out what was going on. Facebook, I have to apologize to Facebook because I sent them things saying, hey, what in the world's going on? Why are we missing videos? Can you please explain this to us? I jumped to wrong conclusions. And I'm somebody who tries to say not to do that. I did. I did not get nasty. I just kind of was curious inside my head. I was thinking something different. But yeah, those of you who joined on early with me got to have a little explanation. And so this morning at 3 o'clock or so, I got up and I tested everything out. So some of you might have gotten buzzes. I apologize. I think it's YouTube people, right? You guys, if you rang the bell, you might have got a buzz on your phone. I apologize. Facebook, I was able to. Hopefully you didn't get notices on there either. But yeah, I tested it. It was working. We're working now. And so we've got a few people. I'm watching my thing. It's scrolling. We got people going through it. So Debbie Snyder, huge praise. Got an answer to prayer today. Yeah, so ours, I don't know if that was thing to ours or for if you got a different answer to prayer. Either way, it was prayers have been answering. It's really, really cool this week. As hopefully you've experienced that as well, all of you. Dave Foy is on here. Kirk, Snyder's, Kay Clark. Hey, thank you all for joining me. I know there's others of you on here because I can see numbers. I just can't see names unless you type in here. And so if you want us to know that you're here, type your name in there. If not, then that's cool too. Hey, we're going to get started. I've got 12:02 on my timer here. And so, hey, both. So Deb Snyder, I'm glad, right? I'm glad that you got a huge answer to prayer. And that is always a good thing for us to not only receive those answers in a positive way, but also to recognize them. So good for you. But yeah, we've been going. For those of you who do not know, maybe you're stumbling upon us. We are on day 5 of 21 days of prayer. Day 5, guys. I don't know if you noticed or not, but these last few days have gone by pretty quick. And so I know it sounds daunting at the beginning, but by the time we get into it, it's going to become a pattern and a habit. And I know that you're going to look forward to it. I look forward to it. Being able to pray together. So a couple things. Number one, again, if you are in here, we don't always necessarily know that you're here unless you type something. It can be as simple as hi, or we're with you, or whatever you want to type in there. But if you type something in there, we will know that you're here with us, and it's an encouragement to us to keep going, right? And so if you do that, we really, really appreciate it. Number 2, if you have a prayer request or a praise that you want to share with us, you can type that right in here. You can go to holtchristian.org and send us something. I know there's some prayers that maybe you don't want to be you don't want to be letting know to everybody. So if you send to holtchristian.org, we will pray for them there. And so you go there. There's a place for you to get to the prayer link. You can type them in here. We will all pray for them then, if you would like. And so if it's something you don't want us to know, just let us know you got a prayer request or praise that you'd like, anonymous or unmentioned or whatever, that we'll pray for, and we'll pray for it during this time. But I promise you, I'm also grabbing anything that gets put on here, and I'm praying for that. So my time of prayer is not ending when we stop here. I'm going to continue praying afterwards, and I would encourage you to do that as well. And so you can put them on there. And so, and then not only will we get to pray for them now, but as we rush this video through, if anybody comes in later, they're going to be able to see those prayer requests on there, and they will be able to pray also. And so again, that address, if you wanted to go, is holtchristian.org. You can find all our stuff. You can find our theme if you hit holtchristian.org/21 days. And so that's a place where you can go watch previous videos. This video will go up there shortly after we're done. And it's a place where you can find the daily themes, all of that stuff, in case you don't want to spend time with Conrad. And that is totally cool. I understand that. But yeah, so we thank you for joining with us in this journey. And I know that 5 days doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It's a big commitment. You've given up part of your lunchtime to be with us, to pray with us, and I know I truly do appreciate it and value your time and sharing with us. I know that because of that, God's going to help us see His vision for Hope Christian Church in a clearer way, and not only see it, but hopefully attain it. And so for the last week, right, we've been talking about returning our focus on Jesus. And man, I think that's always something that we need to have first and foremost, is understanding where our focus is. What's that thing or that person that we focus on the most, or that drives us, right? So whatever we focus on, that's kind of the place, that's the direction we go. That's the inspiration that we chase. That's the energy that we have, right? Wherever we focus, that begins to be the place that gets the most of our attention and dictates the way that we move. My desire is that my focus is on Jesus. Because you see, if my focus is on Jesus, that doesn't mean that I neglect other things. It means that if my focus is on Jesus, I'm going to be a husband who is a husband to his wife in a manner that Jesus would want me to be. That I'm going to be a father in the footsteps of Jesus. That it doesn't mean that I don't go to work or that I neglect my duties because I'm too focused on Jesus. No, it means that I am the best employee that I can be. That I understand things like it's not always fair. That I understand that if that it's my responsibility to live a certain way. I understand that I ought to treat people in a certain manner, and not because maybe despite the way that they live, but because they are also, like me, an image bearer. Right, that made in God's image creation. And God cares for them just as much as He cares for you and He cares for me. And so when I follow Jesus, when I focus on Jesus, it doesn't mean that I miss everything else. It means that I do that in a kingdom mindset, with a way of allowing Jesus to kind of direct the way that I live. You know, there's a passage in First John, right, where John is writing to the church and urging them that their behavior matters, the way they think matters, and that the way they live matters. In John 5, he says this. He says, "Everyone who believes that Jesus is the Christ has been born of God, and everyone who loves the Father loves whoever has been born of Him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and obey His commandments." Listen, here's how we know that we love the children of God: when we love God and obey His commandments. Verse 3 says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not burdensome. For everyone who has been born of God overcomes the world. And this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world except the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God?" Here's what John's saying, is that you might be in the church, you might be close to the church, you might have some idea of what the church is, you might have an acknowledgement of who Jesus is. But if you understand Jesus, you become a child of God. If you follow after Him, you chase after Him. But this is how we know that we are. This is how you get identified, by obeying Him. And his commandments, John says, are not burdensome. So we be a father by obeying Him better. We be a better husband by obeying better. We be a better employer or employee by obeying better. We be a better neighbor by employing better, or by obeying better. And usually that obeying, listen, is this: to love God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. And the second is like it, right butted up next to it, is to love your neighbor as yourself. Man, I want to obey Jesus, and so I pray that you do too. And as we return our focus, it's going to not only turn our eyes towards God, but to the way that we behave and reflect into a broken, fallen world, so that they get to see a glimpse of light and love that God truly is. All right, hey, God bless you. I want to just say, Deb Schneider has got a huge praise, and so we're gonna pray specifically for that. We're going to pray specifically for Santa has let us know that Joyce Gillette, and I think that I'm pronouncing that right, hope I am, is hospitalized with non-COVID-19 health issues. And so let's be praying for her as well. And so I'm going to pray for those two things specifically. I'm going to ask you to do so as well throughout the rest of the day. And then third thing is I'm going to pray that we on our returning to God, returning to Jesus, right, returning our focus on Jesus, that we strive to obey him better. Right? I'm going to pray for those things right now. Heavenly Father, God, I thank you. I thank you for this medium that we're able to join together and pray together at a time right in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, probably where we wouldn't have been able to do this before without this medium. I thank you that it's working, right? Got a glimpse yesterday, right? I think sometimes we get a little spoiled, and something didn't work right yesterday. But God, I was amazed at texts that I received and messages saying that people were joining in later and still watching, and we're not deterred from praying together. So God, I thank you for that. I thank you for the praise that Deb Snyder has sent in. God, and it's so amazing to know that not only are you answering prayers, but you answer them in a way that we get to see. And so, Father, I pray that we open our eyes to the ways that you move. That's what this whole 21 days is about. Us opening our eyes and recognizing the way that you move in our world, even when we least expect it, even when we least deserve it, even when we don't know that it's coming. You do it in ways that are beyond anything we can imagine. And so I thank you for that, Jesus. I thank you for that, God. I thank you that you continue to work over and over and over again. Lord, I'm lifting up Joyce in the hospital with non-COVID-19 complications, health issues. And Lord, I thank you for Dave, who's a friend to her. And Lord, I pray that through that friendship, that as he continues to obey you, that she gets a deeper focus on you as well. That Dave understands, that we understand that obeying Jesus means that we're better neighbors. We care for each other more. And Lord, I pray that that's seen. And I pray above all else, Lord, that Joyce's health complications get resolved. Because God, I know that you're the great physician, and I know you can do things that are impossible by man, but are a snap of the fingers from you. And so, Lord, I pray that you do something great. But even if it doesn't come out and the outcomes aren't in the ways that we want them to, Lord, I pray for peace and understanding that you are still God, and that you are above all things, and that if everything in this world was to be taken away from us, you can never be. And so, Lord, I pray that we continue to see that. I pray that you in this time when we're not able to, Joyce's friends and family aren't able to visit her as much as they'd like to, or as much as she would like. Lord, I pray that you give her comfort, take away feelings of isolation if it's there, or loneliness, and that you give a peace to her family that are caring for her. And Lord, I pray that we, as a congregation, as we return our focus to Jesus, that we truly understand what it means to obey him. That we look at his commandments and his word, and we obey him not because it's going to lead us to some pinnacle, but because it's how we show our love. And so, God, I pray that as we obey Jesus more, that we experience that love more, and that it passes on not only between us as a congregation, but also into the rest of the world, so that we can see more people connected with Jesus. It's in his name we pray. Amen. Hey, God bless. I thank you all for joining with us. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Look forward to seeing you soon. All right, bye.